So hello, good morning. This time I would like to discuss to you the 10 most poisonous plants in the Philippines. I hope it can give you knowledge. I hope it can, maybe it can save lives. So here are the 10 most poisonous plants in the Philippines. So here are the poisonous plants in the Philippines. So warning. So let's start from number 10 going downwards. The first is of our list is the buta-buta or the blinding tree. Ixcocaira agalotcha. This is common in the Philippines. This tree is mangrove. It is common mangrove swamps from Bangladesh, India, and the northwest of Australia. In northwest to Australia and the southwest within Australia, it thrives from northern New South Wales along the northern coastline around the Western Australia. It is also found on the shore of the Philippine Islands. So common mangroves, buta-buta. Even dried and powdered leaves retain the poison and can kill fish very quickly and can be used as a poison dart. And now you know. Worst effect, blinding. Number 9, talampunay or katsubong. The Datura Mitel. This is very famous in the streets. So this is the katsubong. The flower it looked like bell. And the plant, katsubong plant, it looks like an eggplant. The plant itself. It is naturalized in the warmer countries of the world. The plant is cultivated worldwide, both ornamental and for its medicinal purposes. It is native to the mountainous regions of Pakistan and Afghanistan westward. While there are remains doubt that the species originated in the New World, evidence is mounting that is introduced to the Indian subcontinent, whether by human agency or the some chance of natural event. That is not yet known. An early date, no later than the 4th century CE, preceding by the arrival of the first European explorer in the Americas. I will. So this is the flower of the kachubong. The effect of kachubong is the effect of talampunay or kachubong. It is hallucinogenic. There are cases of this plant in the Philippines. They take the kachubong, they extract the juice out of it, and they drink, and they pick up stones because they're telling that there's so many money in the floor, in the soil. We have I saw the documentary of this one before. Many people a group of kids drinking what's this? Drinking gin. They mix it with kachubong. That is I think GMA documentary. They mix it with the juice of this one, and they get crazy, and two of them's dead. The worst effect of this one is hallucinogenic. The next in our list is number 8, dumpkin. Maybe many of us do not know this plant. The plant is poisonous. I saw this plant in the households. The Dieffenbachia ammonia. This is what it looks like. It's a monocot which commonly cultivated as a house plant. It is for decorative leaves. It is a very popular and hardy shade-loving plant. A native to tropical America, now widely distributed, the dumpkin is a very homely plant indeed. The reason every portion of the plant harbor the needle like calcium oxalate crystals. If by accident the plant gets chewed, these crystals are released to the system of the unfortunate individual, causing intense pain and painful swelling of the mouth. Note for this toxicity, the native Amazonian people use this plant for to poison their arrows. I think we also have this plant in our house, in my mother's house. So effects of this one: severe swelling, drooling, dysphagia, respiratory compromise, dermatitis. Worst effect: damage to kidneys, stomach, and diarrhea. So the next in our list is number 7, Rosary P. In our native dialect is Matag Iring. Abros picatorius. When I was a little boy, we used to play this one, and my grandmother scolded us. That's a poisonous plant, blah blah blah. It's native to India and Sri Lanka, Thailand, and the Philippines. The rosary pea is a cold-blooded killer, a slender perennial climber that finds its way through the trees and shrubs. One can only easily identify via its seeds because this is the seeds. The seeds is a brightly red color, and it's bigger. The seeds is bigger than mungo seeds. We used to call this one Matag Iring. We call this one Mata sa Alimango, the eye of the crab in English. As I've said, we used to play this one when we are small. The rosary pea can be found in thickets of lowland to medium altitude area. It is so lethal that the cases of this mere 3 micrograms have killed a fully grown human, have been reported, and been using the seeds as beads. It's never advisable as people have been known to die picking their fingers on the tip. On the tip of the drill used to drill holes to them seeds. Its poison able to 75 times more deadly than the resin of the castor bean. The castor bean is the number 6. Imagine 75 times. So the effects of this one is death. In traditional medicine, it has been used by Siddha medicine of India, the medicine of the centuries. A wide variety of use to prepare oil that is claimed to be aphrodisiacs. The tea is made of leaves and used for fevers, coughs, and colds. So this is the rosary tea, and the seeds look like this. As I've said, the size of this one may be the same size with soya. Number 6, castor plant or ligang sina. It is called in our dialect ligang-ligang. This can be seen everywhere in my area. The Ricinus communis, the castor plant. On the good side, the plant has been source of healing via the widely use of castor oil. But you should stop dead on your tracks if you are handling this plant. It is so toxic, it takes but 4 to 5 seeds to kill a full-grown adult. This is because the toxin called resin found throughout the plant. Initial sensation once the seed is ingested, burning sensation in the throat, mouth, followed diarrhea and vomiting. Some symptoms of process is unstoppable, and the final cause death would be dehydration. So beware of this one. Castor plant, this is a it grows everywhere in the Philippines. When we also child, we are also playing with this one. The fruit of this one looks like a small rambutan. So medicinal uses, it's a powerful laxative, a natural moisturizer, Castor oil is rich of ricinoleic acid, the monosaturated fatty acid, promotes wound healing, impressive anti-inflammatory effect, reduces acne, fight fungus, keep your hair and scalp healthy. So effects, if ingested, death. So this is the flower and this is the fruit. When it ripens, it looks like brownish and reddish kind. It looks like a small rambutan. Number 5 in our list, the wolf's bane. This is a very beautiful plant, or the devil's helmet, Acunitum. The plant contains large quantities of poison known as alkaloid sudaconitine. This poison is so toxic that I know people in Japan have used poison for their tips of the arrow for hunting. Once ingested, burning sensation in the limbs, abdomen follows by the chance of large doses have been consumed. Death could follow at a little 2 to 3 hours. Just to give you an idea, 20 ml is toxic enough to kill a human. Effects of wolfbane. Worst, death. Wolfbane is a genus over 200 species of flowering plant. These herbaceous parental plants are chiefly native to the mountainous part of northern hemisphere. But they are cultivating this plant right now, crossbreeding this plant to serve as a decorative plant. Number 4, English yew, the Taxus baccata. The flower of the Taxus baccata is reddish type. It is the same size as grapes. Philippine grapes, grapes from the Philippines, not grapes here. Is a species of evergreen tree, conifer family, native to western, central, and southern Europe, southwest Africa, northern Iran, and Southeast Asia. Originally known as yew. The primarily grown ornamental, most parts of the tree are poisonous, and consumption of the foliage can result to death. So effects, muscle tremors, difficulty in breathing, convulsion, collapse. This is the fruit looks like. It looks like a grape, a red grape. Worst effect, death. Number 3 in our list is the belladonna. Antropa belladonna. This, it looks like a wild berry. I always see this one when I'm going up to the upper regions in the doing climbing activities. I always see this one in the lowlands. This is one of the most dangerous plant on the planet Earth. The whole plant is poisonous, but the berries that are most dangerous, they are naturally sweet. When you eat the berries, you will not say that it is poisonous because it's sweet, and would attract children. It is 10 to 20 berries can be kill a fully grown adult, but as small as one leaf poison concentrated can kill a man. Effects: loss of voice, dry mouth, headaches, breathing difficulty, and convulsions. Worst effect, death. Number 2, this this plant looks like talimpunay. The trumpeta, the Brazil white angel trumpet. Brugmansia violence. It looks like a talimpunay, but the color of the flower is yellowish, orange yellowish, and the tree of this one is bigger than the talimpunay. This is the world's most dangerous drugs. But behind the charming form lies a killer. Traditionally, the plant is utilized as a hallucinogen and intoxicant because of it is rich of scopolamine, that is hyoscine. Relative datura, the trumpeta is home to the dangerous alkaloids, namely atropine, hyoscine, hyoscine, and metallidine. The devil's breath from the trumpeta known as Columbia as Barakio tree. The documentary called it the world's scariest drugs. I saw a documentary of this plant. The plant, they use this plant in kidnapping, in doing crimes. They will powder the plant. I don't know what is the process and how much is the dosage. I saw only the powder in the plant, and the bad guys knock to your door, and when you open the door, they will blow the powder in your face, and automatically within 5 minutes you hallucinate, and they will kidnap you, and they will do anything to you, and after that one you recover in 5 days. You will not remember anything. So let's go to the number one. So once again, the trumpeta, it looks like the same with the kachubong or the talumpunay, except for the color and except for the tree, the height of the tree. The next one, the effects of talumpunay is of course death. So these are the samples of the flowers of the talumpunay. It's very beautiful flowers. It looks like a bell. So worst effect, death. Now let's go to the number one. The number one in our list is the pungpung or the suicide tree, Cerbera odalam. It looks like a kalachuchi, but is smaller than the flower is smaller than the kalachuchi. Also, this one is very common in my place. Commonly known as a suicide tree, pungpung mentola and othalam, it bears a fruit known as othalanga that yields a potent poison that has been used for suicide and murders. It is a species native to India and other parts of Southern Asia, growing peripherally the coastal salt swamp and marshy area, also grown on a hedge plant between home compounds. As I've said, this plant is very common to my place. Worst effect, death. So among those 10 that I mentioned, I have also additional two plants especially mentioned. One is the alingatong of Lipang Kalabaw, then Locsinide mayeniana, the alingatong. This plant, I have a personal experience of this plant because when we are climbing mountains before, this plant is commonly seen in the what's this? In the stream side of the streams. That's why we easily get hit of this the hit of the leaves of this plant. Imagine 10 caterpillars or 15 caterpillars put in together and put into your arm. This is the alingatong. The alingatong, I will discuss it first. Native to the thickets of secondary forests of Taiwan and the Philippines, it is commonly referred to us as lipa tree, but more especially lipang kalabaw. In our dialect, it is most common we call this alingatong. For more rarely, parigwa in Iloilo province is called bulan-bulan. The Lipa City, Batangas in the Philippines, named after the Lipa tree, locals distinguish their primary short irritant hairs of the twigs. This one, I only add this one to especially mention poisonous plants in the Philippines. This one, in the tribes in the some of the tribes of the Philippines use this one to hunt deers. They put plenty of the leaves, and when the deer pass to this area, the deer get very irritated to the hair. I also have experience of this one. when we go to the mountainous regions of the in the Philippines before, at night time, when you flash it, when you use your flashlight, the hairs will attract the light, and the hair will go to your flashlights. The light provided by your flashlight. Next is very the next one and the last one, it is commonly distributed in the Philippines or maybe in the world. Is it number one? The number one source of starch, but maybe less people know that this plant or this crop is poisonous. Alingatong. We go back to alingatong. The effect is skin irritation. When you hit here in the neck part, swelling of airways, and worse, death. So we go to the last. The last is the cassava. It's called in our dialect English cassava. It's called in our dialect kamuting kahoy or bingala. Scientific name Manihot esculenta. So the cassava is the third largest source of food carbohydrates in the tropics after rice and corn. Cassava is the major staple food in the developing world, providing a basic diet for over half a billion of people. So you must properly process this one. This is one of the most drought-tolerant crops capable of growing on marginal soils. Nigeria is the world's largest producer of cassava, while Thailand is the largest producer or exporter of cassava starch. See? Now you know. Maybe plenty of people always eating this one, but nobody knows that this is poison. If it can produce poison. Cassava, an edible tuberous root often made into flour, contains cyanogenic glycosides which can result to fatal cyanide poisoning. I saw before I saw people using this one. They will remove the bark of the cassava. They will put small amount of water and they put it in the riverside to catch fish. And I personally also taste like this because in our we have a tribe there in the Philippines, and they make rice wine. In order the rice wine will have more kick, they put a little bit of cassava. That wine is called sinibog. And in order to drink that wine, the person who made that one, that is the person who will drink first. If he die, we cannot drink. If he will survive, we drink. So once again, detoxified by soaking, drying, and scraping, uh, being consumed, acute cassava associated with cyanide poisoning. So how do you remove poison from cassava? Steaming, baking, and frying, deep frying fresh cassava pieces or chips. It also another method that can be used in reduction of cyanide content in the cassava. So most cyanide reduction in the process occur during the steaming stage. So the cassava fruit, that's all for today, and I hope, and I warn. These are the poisonous plants and crops in the Philippines. So I hope you have plenty of you get more ideas and knowledge in my discussion today. So thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you learn something from my blog.
Daghang salamat, syukran, syukriya, and maraming salamat sa lahat.